Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I always have to forget where I had the microphone up ahead. I move it from time to time as I'm working, um, or like I'm painting the room, so I have to move it more than usual, and needed to get it above me for better sound. I just felt the need to use the smudge sticks this morning as I tune into the energy here for the week that. For the lunar energy especially, but you can't separate just the lunar from all the other astrological energies. And I just wanted to remind you that as I talk about some of these energies that we'll feel this week, that you might feel the tension within you or guiding you one way or the other. Whatever the information that I give about it, you need to keep in mind that it varies slightly how strong you'll feel it or the different aspects you might feel depending on your birth sign and your sun sign that you're born in and your moon sign, as well as the current ones, and how they influence you. And we're all different, and so they all affect us differently, but with an um, overall leaning or overall energy that many of us would feel. And I used to have no faith or no belief, I guess, in astrological energies at all. I would read a horoscope in the paper occasionally or something and think, well, yeah, it'd be easy to say that, something general that it could apply to anyone. And it wasn't until a few years ago that Spirit was really pulling me to learn more. And so I took a class. I didn't intend to learn that much about astrology, but what I learned, it wasn't the specifics about astrology, but what I came away with most from that class was knowing and really feeling of how strongly the universe is always working in our favor, that all parts of the universe are always working in our favor, and that all these, each of these stars, or what we might call planets, or wandering stars, as I call them, or the sun and the moon, the luminaries, they each have their own energies, and then those combine. Like this week, there's some tension created between the moon in Aquarius and the sun in Scorpio. And for me, I feel it differently. I'm interested this week to see how I feel things or how they play out, because we're talking about the moon in Aquarius and the sun in Scorpio, whereas my sun sign that I was born in is Aquarius and my moon sign is Scorpio. So it's kind of flip-flopping the mind versus the heart, or the passions versus getting it done and applying it and making it happen. And so, like I said, all these vary for each of us. So it's just things to think about as you listen, but also as you go through your week, and to just when you feel these tensions rising, you don't know a reason for it, or if you feel sudden guidance one way or another, and you don't know why. It's very likely the star energies, or these luminary sky clock energies that I call them, that tell the time for us, that track our time. And so just keep those in mind. And if those things are happening and you're feeling, especially we notice it when things are harder, make our life seem to feel more difficult, and it's easy to get frustrated. And why is this all happening? And then it's probably the star energies this week. And then to listen and say, okay, well, how can I work with you instead of against you? And because they're working in our favor. They don't always feel like it, but they're always working in our favor. And so to say, pause and say, how can I work with you instead of against you? And so today I wanted to talk a little bit about I'll read what moonreading.com says. And this week, a confident first quarter moon in Aquarius rises on October 29th, bringing a surge of progress. So that would be tomorrow, bringing a surge of progress, clarity, and inner conviction to your life. In Aquarius, the sign of innovation and higher ideals, you are encouraged to choose how you spend your free time with intention. Ask yourself which activities truly light you up and which commitments drain your spark. And ask yourself, how can I attract people who share my sense of vision and purpose? How can I put time and energy toward my passions and bring genuine fulfillment rather than just temporary satisfaction? And I'll add to that, or the feeling of doing it because I should have, or I could have, would have, all those things that often drive us to make choices instead of feeling into what fuels that passion that only we can offer to the world. And so, yes, this first quarter moon, as they call it, is October 29th. And so that would be about 12:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And so for me, I'm in Central Time, so that would be 11:20 a.m. And so they talk some about, this is from another source, they talk about that tension that develops between Scorpio's deep transformative flow of water energy and Aquarius's being more innovative and slightly more detached air energy. And so these together urging action on taking intentions that were set on the new moon last week. So you might think back to last week and what intentions you held, and it's useful as a checkpoint then in the progress you want to make toward those intentions or toward your overall year intentions, and blending the emotional intensity with the forward thinking and action. And it talks about too, I just wanted to mention some of these for those of you that aren't as familiar with the different energies, and I include myself in that. I haven't learned enough about all the individual astrological energies to remember them all the time from month to month or from time that these energies change. And so I read for myself too. And so the Aquarius is often sparks unconventional ideas and a push for this progress. And that can clash with Scorpio's deep probing to reveal hidden obstacles that we hold inside. And both are very valuable. It's not like one against each other, but that's the trick. Instead of feeling it as working against each other, as how to tune into each in the balance that they need to really work for your life. Another thing that Aquarius, the moon in Aquarius emphasizes collective good or social justice, while Scorpio is more the intimate self-revelation. And so, again, this is the checkpoint, or finding, if there's conflict, finding the balance in those of your individual needs versus how you can help the universe or help others within your family. And then there's also then Scorpio brings into the action more of that raw passion and vulnerability against Aquarius, which can tend to be more cool and create a push-pulling, like a battle of the wills that might stir anxiety or obsession. if it's unbalanced. But again, this is our challenge this week. This is our goal of learning about these so that we can bring harmony to all those energies and make them work for our highest good, which is what they're for. And then then another aspect is amplifying intuition and psychic. And I noticed this first time yesterday morning as I finished one part of my daily routine and started in another. It was bang, this intuitive mindset hit me. And it was like, oh, it was a friend. I could feel her energy right in front of me. And I knew I was supposed to contact her. I didn't know if something was wrong, or sometimes it doesn't mean that something's wrong with that person or something wrong going on in their life. But sometimes it can be if they're feeling anxiety or fear or something. But other times it's just meant because the universe knew that I needed to get in touch with her, and that together this energy this week would benefit by us being in communication and working on something together. And so I called her, and she had some changes in her life. And of course, she had been thinking about me this morning. And that's what usually happens. The universe cues it into both parties, hoping one of them will act on it, right? And so that's part of the Scorpio, the intuition and more psychic undercurrents, whereas Aquarian is daring and challenging the norms or uncovering truths in things. And so unexpected things could happen that might disrupt your daily routine. But just remember, how can I work with you instead of against you? How can I bring this in harmony to benefit my life? And so this interaction between them can be about stubbornness versus the compassion or wanting to move more quickly. Both signs are fixed, and that amplifies determination, but can risk deadlock if we're not willing to shift and find those benefits for each of you. So this energy mirrors a light bearer archetype, profound compassion, clashing with self-centered drives, and demanding balance to avoid guilt or isolation. And so harness this lunation by leaning into action as you feel this tension, hold it as a benefit or a push toward an action of looking and finding that checkpoint and the balances, or an action that you would need to take to amplify your intuition, to clear those emotions, or to, in other words, take an action that can be helpful for you. So I had asked Grok, who is the AI on the X platform, I had asked him for a few steps, individual things that you could take this week. So when you're feeling these tensions, or even before you feel the tensions, maybe right after the podcast, think about it and do one of these activities that might help tap into the lunar and solar energies this week, and therefore kind of get an advanced step toward working with them. And so the first one would be to practice surrendering to these energies, not fighting them, by journaling about unspoken desires. So I like to just have a blank piece of paper and just start writing, and don't pay attention to punctuation or anything, and just start writing. And then you'll know when what needs to come out has come out, because those thoughts that pour out on paper just stop. And so then you can look back through them and see if you find a theme of steps that something that action that you could take, or something that needs further looking into on your part, further planning, further intuition, knowing about it. You might also look, journal on or think on the meditation of, well, what if this unfolds differently than I'm thinking it will? Looking ahead at your week and see how you expect things, and then say, well, what if it unfolds differently? And write that down. And that could help bring balance between the passion that wants to go all forward in toward that passion and those emotions, versus more of a balanced action that might be more helpful. So another thing, that if you feel the spark of intensity and it's climbing, is to take a piece of paper or a whiteboard or whatever, and list the pros and cons of a goal that you've been working on, that has become stalled, or that you haven't worked on for a while. And think of the pros and cons toward that goal, or maybe discuss it in a group of your friends or peers, a discussion that might bring a new perspective. And that can help break free from the emotional and anxiety that comes with that, the deep emotions that the Scorpio energy can bring. The other thing is to maybe try an innovative idea, or join a new group or something that you've been thinking about that can address personal passions, or just throw a question out at your friends or something and have a discussion about it, about an innovative idea, and something about that can bring transformation, and how can I use this idea or whatever you're talking about to bring transformation for myself and others. Another thing that it mentions you could do is the Aquarius energy can bring surprises. So if your plans shift, then view them toward Scorpio's energy of rebirth, of digging in deep to your emotions to help clear them and bring new birth, to see what you're really feeling and bring a newness with that. And so you can use grounding rituals, meditation or other grounding rituals. Walking in nature, holding a tree is one of my favorite ones, to help your intuition process, or work with a close friend to or others to have a community support of some kind. And the last thing I'll mention is that this fixed stubbornness of both the emotion and the holding it strong, versus the wanting to the larger ideals, or the water energy versus the air energy, to combat that stubbornness, bring lightheartedness to the world. Perhaps a quirky insight, share that with someone, or a taboo subject, bring something up lightly, or just to bring humor or a shift of those energies. And you could use the affirmation, I honor my depths, the depths of my core, the depths of my emotions, while embracing flow. And that can foster growth without getting burned out on things. So those are what I wanted to mention today to help you. So thanks for joining, and we'll get ready to do our tuning here to help us attune to these energies of this moon in Aquarius and the sun in Scorpio, and the tension of the two, and the beautiful benefit of the two, of working them both together and bringing harmony. So we'll tune for what can help us make progress. We'll tune for tapping into our passions and desires, and the transformation it can bring. And other ideals that can help with this. as the universe works for our highest good. And I'm going to start with the 222 hertz. This is for harmony, for quiet, for calm, for that grounding energy of tapping into those deep emotions, of grounding before you take an action that you feel pushed to do. Just as like a second opinion, tapping into, ask your spirit, is this really for my good? Or is it just my mind that's pushing that? The other sound is solar plexus energy. Holiday Shiakai and a money on a holiday Shiakai and a money on a holiday Shiakai Anamana money holiday Ha Shiakai and a mon on a Shiakai and a mon. My chanting or singing, I feel it's an ancient language, perhaps from one of my ancestors, perhaps just from the spirit that brings, and it helps to clear the energy. It helps to tap into the emotion that is being felt in the field. It clears the energy in me so that I can be more of a hollow bone channel that just lets it flow. Now we'll clear some of the emotions that are ready to come up. I'm using the 144. Hanamani ani aladio Shanakaya namanani alanani shikaya namani Aladi shikaya namanani alanani anaman Aladi akashamani alamani anaman Halamani shakayama haladi shika yanamani aniyan halamani aniyan hoshikaya yanamani ani haladi shikaya namanani haladi shikaya mani haladi shikaya Hanini kaya mana mani holadi shikai holamani ani ana mani ana halio shikai man holaman ho hanamani ani an shalamani ani an holadi shikai anamani ana holadi Shi Hadamani Alio Shanakoya Manio Haladi Hashiakaya Mani Anian Haladi Shiakaya Mani Haladi Shikai Hadamani Ani Haladio Shiakaya Mahaladi Anamani ani haladi shikai anamani ani haladi akai shanamani ani halanamani ha hananamani ani hali hananamani ani hala hanamani Working in heart energy now. We're working at the bottom of the feet. Oh, lana me and me and she come. Anani and she alanani and hold on the dear she kai and a moon. Adi she kai a moon. Anani and hold on. Now clearing that out. Kalaming Lada de Shika Yamanani Hola de Shika Yanamanani Hola de Haladia Haladia Shika Yanaman Halia Anamani Ani Hola de Shika Yanamani Ani Hola de Shika Anamani Hola de Shika Yanaman Ani Hola de Shika Yanaman Hana hola de shika yanamon haliham. I'm going to use another fork here, the 432, and this one's for harmony, healing of the old wounds, of the old stuck energies, bringing harmony, perhaps healing for the tension that you might feel this week, and helping you to really tap into those as to find that harmony that this frequency brings. Ooh. Now we're going to apply the healing to ancestral wounds. I feel there's a lot of them right now. So many of us carry these ancestral stuck energies, the ancestral blocks that were developed in their life because they perhaps fought those emotions or had situations in their lives that they didn't know how to handle, things that happened to them, or feelings that arose. And there's just a lot of those. As we bring healing to our ancestors, we heal ourselves. And it works vice versa too. As we heal ourselves, we heal them. And we heal our children. And we heal the universe. Anytime during a tuning that you find yourself yawning, hiccuping, burping, coughing, sneezing, twitching, it's energy clearing in your body, in your biofield. Let it flow. If you feel like getting up and dancing around, do it. It may be what's needed. And I feel the need to mention this so that maybe there's someone listening that this will be helpful for whenever you're watching this at any time. And before I go in to this, I just wanted to say that just because it's not this week when you're listening, if it's another week, you can tap into those energies, into the astrological energies, because those stars and luminaries always have those energies. And so you can call on them for your help. And so it doesn't matter when you listen, you can benefit from it. But I feel at one point I was trading some biofield sessions for belly dancing lessons. And I didn't want to be a belly dancer, but I just felt kind of driven, or that pull inside, that there was something in that I needed to learn. And what made sense to me, what I saw from my perspective, I don't know if anyone else has ever seen this about belly dancing or not before, is that it's a wonderful way of shifting those energies. There's movements of the head, and then the shoulders, and then back and forth, and then there's the waist, and then there's the hips and the lower legs. And you can send it, if you have some emotion that you're feeling in your neck, you can drop it down into the earth through those movements in synchronicity, and now one right after the other. Or if it's in your gut and it just doesn't want to go down, then work it up. Work those movements of your body up, so that the energy that's ready, that has shown, it's shown because it's ready to clear. So work it up and out. So I thought that was a wonderful thing to learn. Something very unexpected. I didn't expect that at all. And I used it for quite a while. I haven't used it for a while now, but once I learned it, I used it a lot, and it was very helpful. And so again, we're still clearing ancestral energies. Bringing healing to our family line. From the beginning of our family line to our children's children's children. And this work of intention and sound doesn't just stick to blood relatives. You might be adopted, or you might not have children, and that's perfectly great. However it's working in your life, right? However your life is playing out. But if you don't have the children, there are people maybe that you're meant to mentor. Or maybe if your grandmother died, someone else in your life is filling that position and holding that grandparent position or parent position in your heart. And those energies clear. It also can clear for close friends. If you're close enough to be considered sisters or brothers. I just feel the transmuting of these energies into the oneness, and it's very beautiful and full of love and gratitude. And Just doing some figure eights here to bring coordination and communication in your energy systems. And now hold an intention, and I will amplify that intention as I zip up your energy from foot to crown and connect your ascending flow with the joy of those in the oneness. And if you'd like to look into your own ancestral clearing on a deeper individual way and look into ways that you can tap into spirit more and connect with your guidance system that we were all designed to have that has been forgotten and left behind, just contact me and let's work on those and make your life and your families and the universe a happier place. Thank you so much for watching. Sending you love.